Okay, let's get to an update on the Jim Acosta story. Jim Acosta is a CNN reporter. He asked questions of Donald Trump, which I know to many of you will not come as a shock since that's what many reporters do. And Donald Trump didn't like the questions. And during this question and answer period, there was an incident where a White House intern started to try to physically remove the microphone from Jim Acosta. While Trump and Acosta were arguing, Acosta's arm got tangled up with the interns. Here's the original clip that started all of this.
Miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's
I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person.
Yeah, so then after this, the story from the White House became, we are getting rid of Jim Acosta from these briefings because he put his hands on a woman. And then video was released, which was apparently edited in a way to make it seem as though the moment where the arms get tangled between Acosta and the intern was a moment of Jim Acosta being violent in some way with this intern. And we reported on the video when it first came out. It appeared quite a bit as though there was something up with it. And it seems that it was sort of a combination of speeding up the moment where Jim Acosta's arm goes in a downward direction with potentially even removing some frames to make that downward motion look sort of more aggressive. And we now have an interview that Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway gave on Fox News Sunday, where she admits that this video was indeed edited, but she called it not edited, not altered, not doctored, simply sped up. And her language here is completely Orwellian. And I'm going to play it for you, and then we'll talk about it. Take a look.
This brings me to my final subject, which is the now infamous confrontation with Jim Acosta at that news conference. As you know, I have been very critical of Acosta's behavior myself, but I want to ask you about two responses by the White House. First, to tweet a video that was clearly altered to make it look like it was more of a physical confrontation than it really was, although I do think it was inappropriate. And second, to pull Acosta's pass to get into the White House and to threaten to do that to other reporters.
Well, Chris, first of all, what do you mean by edited or, as others are saying, quote, doctored video? He either put his hands on her and grabbed the mic back, or he did not, and he clearly did.
No, he clearly did, but the video was altered, and there are experts who have looked at it to make it speed it up to make it look, pardon?
Oh, well, that's not altered. That's sped up. They do it all the time in sports to see if there's actually a first down or a touchdown. So I have to disagree with the, I think, overwrought description.
Listen, I watch a lot of sports on TV. Has she ever seen sports on TV? In sports, you do slow motion to see what happened. You don't do fast motion. Like, have you ever seen referees, Pat, say, you know, we really didn't get a clear look at that. Can you show us a replay in 2x speed so that we can really figure out what's going on? Like, this is one of the dumbest explanations so far.
The only thing I can think of is like on a highlight reel, if you're showing a football player making a 90-yard run, maybe you'll speed that up because the clip takes a little bit of time. But if you're trying to focus in on something like, I don't know, a fumble or whether a runner was safe or out at the plate, you want to slow that down so the public can actually get a look at what happened.
Yeah, the idea that you would speed something up to ascertain what actually took place is ridiculous. And of course, this is part of the words have no meaning thing anymore. Kellyanne Conway of the Bowling Green Massacre, which didn't exist, of alternative fact, which of course it's sort of binary. Something either is a fact or it is not a fact. It was sped up at a particular moment to create a different perception of what it is that took place, period. The idea that changing the speed of a video is irrelevant because it's just the playback speed is ridiculous. Imagine Your Honor, there's no way I was speeding. Check out this video of me driving at the time, right before I was pulled over. Look at how slowly I'm moving. Well, that video has clearly been altered. No, Your Honor, it's not been altered. I've simply slowed the video down. Well, yeah, what's at issue is how fast you were driving. So slowing the video down is an alteration. That's what's at issue here. They can't be trusted to tell the truth about anything, like stupid things, irrelevant things, important things. They can't be relied upon to give us the truth about anything. And in the end, why not just say, you know what? The video was altered. We regret sharing an altered video put together by a conspiracy website, but we believe that Jim Acosta's behavior is what was inappropriate. It's not the speed at which he chopped a female intern's arm. We simply don't want him around because we think that his presence is toxic. Like, Pat, why not just say that? You don't need doctored video to defend your decision. Some people are going to be happy with your decision to kick him out. Others are going to say, let's file a lawsuit, which is exactly what CNN has done and we'll talk about tomorrow. But it's not that the video is even necessary for them to do what they want.
Oh, you can totally concede that the video was altered and still try to feign the moral high ground in that exchange, because they could still say that Jim Acosta acted inappropriately and that's not the demeanor that you expect from the White House press corps. You can go in that direction, but Kellyanne Conway, she has to stick to it.
Doubling down time and again with just absolute and total fabrications. Today's program is sponsored in part by fairindigo.com, who is giving everybody in our audience 15% off their first order only when you use the promo code Pakman at checkout. I talk all the time about how harmful the garment industry can be, both in terms of the environment and workers' rights, which is why I'm very excited to tell you about fairindigo.com, which is a clothing company focused not only on the extreme quality and longevity of their products, but also actually making sure that the people making the clothes actually get a fair and living wage, and that every step of the manufacturing process is eco-friendly. If you're watching on YouTube right now, I'm wearing the organic Pima cotton hoodie, which is extraordinarily comfortable. Fair Indigo's clothing is made from premium alpaca and ultra high quality organic Pima cotton, the softest and longest lasting cotton on earth. It's grown by small scale farmers without any pesticides, and all of the garments are manufactured at a mill that recycles 100% of its water, uses earth-friendly dyes, and everything is cut and sewn by experts at their Lima, Peru workshop, where all workers are actually paid fair wages. Go check out everything they have for both men and women, everything from short and long sleeve t-shirts, polos, sweaters, hoodies, to women's tops, dresses, and scarves. There's really something for everybody. And these are styles that don't get old, so it's clothing you'll want to wear for years with quality that ensures you'll actually be able to. Click the link under this video. Shipping is always free on orders over $75, and you'll save 15% when you use the promo code PAKMAN at checkout.